I'm just about to cut out the count wheel, and you can see these are 6mm milled slots, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on round here, and that means you need to have a 78 tooth wheel to index on. So it's 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9, 10 plus 11 plus 12. That's 78. So you need a 78 tooth indexing, and it is relatively straightforward to do. So I'll just run it through as quickly as I can, and I'll do it in steps because I don't want to risk breaking through this, and just locking the slide so that it switch on. It's gone round the first part of it. I'll do another probably 2mm or so. Go a little bit more. I won't take it to the full depth. I'm going to leave a little bit to secure the wheel, to secure this part onto the face of the wheel a bit better, which is what I did the first time round. Just see what that looks like. I think that's about where I had it before. Yeah, that should be alright. Go with that. Right, that's finished that, and that's the previous one, and you can see that the pattern is the same, so I'm happy with that. And that's now almost completed in the wheel, and at the same time, just a little while ago, I completed remaking this pinion on the slightly larger centres to match with this wheel. and I have checked the depthing, and the depthing's good. And now I've got the plate ready to push out the bushing that's in here. This is the front plate. I just started the pushing it out. There's the bush, I can now reuse. And this is the plug that I've made. So I'll just cut that in half, and I can use half in the front and half in the back. Yeah, that should be the right length to do that. Now I'm in a position to press this in. I've just smeared a little glue around it. I should just point out that the bush is made with the grain around, not in a vertical direction. So I cut out a round circle cylinder out of this bit of oak, put it in the lathe, turned it down to 6mm, and that means when I press it in it shouldn't really show too much because the grain's orientated in the same way. So hopefully that'll press in. And that really is not bad at all. It's just that small mark there where the bush was. The back side of it needs a little bit extra plug to fill up. I think I'll have a little bit left over from the other piece when I put it in. I'm now on the back plate. I'm ready to push this in. That's the plug in the back side, really hardly noticeable, and when that's cleaned up and polished I don't think that'll really be noticeable at all. And it's got a small hole to fill on this side here. I'll do that next. I've just got a small section of veneer which I need to add back in here and just press in. I've glued it. It just needs cleaning up. That's both sides of that one done. The other one's good on both sides. I've mounted the new count wheel, great wheel, onto the depthing tool with the new pinion, and it's absolutely perfect. It mates beautifully. In fact, it probably mates slightly better than it did before. There's the size of the wheel in comparison, and the pinion is really not noticeably much larger, but it is larger. But this wheel is quite a bit bigger. So the thing to do now is to transfer that dimension there across onto the plate and mark it out. The calculated figure is 94.15, and the depthing figure that I have actually worked from here is 94.12, so it's almost exactly the same. So I'll now transfer that dimension across onto the plate. I marked out the new position, and you can just see the faint yellow mark here for the plug that I put in, and the original point where the wheel was depth was there, and that's the new position, and I'd calculated that it would be just clear of that hole when I drill for the bush, which will go in there like that. Oopsie, a little bit further over. So that's the position there. I'm the same centre from there to there, so that and that and that are unchanged. It's just the position of this which has moved outwards on an arc from here. And I've drawn an arc from there along which I wanted it to be. So I think I'm happy with that now, and that should enable this with the winding square end to clear, with the barrel to clear. So when I've got this in here, it will clear it by my 3 or 4 millimeters, which is enough. So next thing to do is to drill the hole in there, check it, and then put the bush in. I've now fitted the wheels of both trains in as far as I've got, just so that you can see that they don't clash with each other. This is the going train, and you can see, hopefully, at that point it's very close to this pinion but doesn't touch. There's very little gap between this pinion and the plate and this wheel and the plate. So it's this pinion and the plate at the back, and this wheel and the plate at the back, but they don't touch. And as I say, this pinion here on the strike side is very close but doesn't touch. The train on the going side is a little bit notchy compared to the train on the strike side. I may just have another go at maybe making the wheels again, or one of the wheels again, just to see if I can get it a bit smoother. But certainly my latest efforts have been, this is very much better. This is really quite good on the strike side. This isn't glued onto, this pinion here isn't glued onto the arbor, so this is just free to rotate. So it's only just a bit of loose friction that's causing it to move at all. So the depthing on those two that I've just done is excellent, and everything about that so far on the strike side I'm quite optimistic about. That's going to be quite good. So I'll just lay it flat and let you have a look at the front of it so you can see the relationship of the wheels. This is with the plate, top plate removed, and you can see these are all. I've taken the plate off the front, and you can see how close all these wheels are. That's very close to that arbor, but it doesn't actually touch it when it's fitted in. That's the one that was touching, that's now clear, and the pinion underneath the bottom of this wheel is very close to these but isn't touching either. So finally I've got all those in a position which I can now continue with the strike train, getting them all put in place. Quite a difficult little job this, getting them all correctly spaced, and the plate gets inserted in the front like this. Again, this is a bit fiddly to get in. So that's now in. And that's how that fits together.